Have you ever stepped into a mess you didn't create just to keep it from blowing up? This is Abigail's story, how wisdom saved lives.
Welcome to Yenga's Corner, podcast empowering women of all ages through God's Word.
Hey, dear friends, welcome to Yenga's Corner. If this is the first time that you're joining me, this is the place where we have real talk, real truth, and real transformation. And today we are continuing in the Project 50, where we are sharing stories from amazing women that are going to be inspiring to us even in our day-to-day lives. And today's story is about wisdom in chaos. And we are learning from this wonderful woman by the name of Abigail. Her story, we find it in 1 Samuel chapter 25, and you can read the entire chapter at your own time. And so just to give you context on the kind of mess that Abigail found herself, is that this intelligent, beautiful, and wise woman was married to Nabal. And Nabal was, the way the Bible describes him, he was harsh, ill-tempered, and he was evil in his dealings, in his business dealings. He was a very rich man, very successful businessman, but clearly he did not have a good reputation. Everybody hated Nabal because of his temper, because of how he dealt with people. And it's surprising that there was a match, actually, that they were married to each other. And then again, they say opposites attract. We don't know whether it was an arranged marriage or whatever, but that's not the topic today. But what we want to learn today is how this woman turned a very sticky situation into such a positive outcome. I'm going to give you context on how about Abigail steps in. You see, King David, before he became king, he was fleeing from Saul and he was fighting battles, him and his men. And so they went to Carmel and they were protecting Nabal's servants there who had a lot of sheep. So they were like a wall of protection for them. And you can imagine David with his 400 men, they were soldiers. They could have robbed these people. They could have used their power to meet their needs. But David acted in so much integrity and he protected them. And so he sends a message to Nabal and asking for help, asking for provisions, asking if he could supply them with whatever it is that he finds in his hands. And I will actually read the message because it's such a beautiful message. So it's in 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 6. It says, he sends his servant and he says, "This is what you shall say to Nabal. Have a long life. Peace be to you. Peace to your house and peace to all that you have. Now then, I have heard that you have shearers. Now your shepherds have been with us. We have not harmed them, nor has anything of theirs gone missing all the days they were with us in Carmel. Ask your young men, and they will tell you. Therefore, let my young men find favor in your eyes, for we have come on a festive day. Please give whatever you find at hand to your servants and to your son David." Wow, what a beautiful message. So respectful, with so many blessings. He's sending peace. He says, peace to you, peace to your home, peace to everything that you have. And he asks, he says, if we have found favor, with so much humility, if you are, send to your servants and also to your son David. So he lowers himself and looks up to him as a father. And the response that Nabal makes, it says, who is David? Who is the son of Jesse that I should think of him? There's a lot of servants that break free from their masters. I'm not going to give my grain and my water. So harsh, just true to his nature. And because of that, David was like, really? You don't know who David is? You're going to find out. Saddle up, guys. Everybody take your sword. Today, before morning tomorrow, I'll make sure there's nobody alive in his household. Wow, look at that. Here is 400 men coming after him to swipe the whole household of Nabal. And the servant of Nabal runs to Abigail because he knows there's somebody who has some senses here, and tells him the story and corroborates the story and say, you know what? It's true. They protected us. They were like a wall to us. And what does Abigail do? This is what I want us to learn, friends. 3 amazing things that Abigail does in such a chaotic situation. I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have said, you know what? It's high time this guy pays for all that he's been doing. Somebody deliver me from this. But no, not Abigail. In the midst of this chaotic situation, one thing that she does is that she chose wisdom over frustration, over reaction. She did not panic. She did not go and say, you know what? It's high time that he gets what he's been sowing all along. She was strategic and she was prompt. Friends, when you are in a chaotic situation, don't say, hey, it's not my fault. I did not create this. Act quickly, like Abigail did. Be responsive. Look for wisdom. Don't react. Don't just go with frustration or go with, with panic. Go with wisdom. And because of her wisdom, it slowed everything down and it brought a positive outcome. The second thing that Abigail did is that she stepped in the gap. So I'm encouraging you, step in the gap. She didn't wait for her husband to fix it. She stepped in and took charge. Somebody said, in the absence of leadership, be the leader. Don't wait until somebody tells you what to do. Step into the situation. Look for solution and be the voice of reason like she was. She decided to be the voice of reason. What do you do in a situation like this? Do you amplify it or do you step in the gap and fix it? I remember years ago when our son was a baby and we had come from church and at night we were sleeping. We had had such a powerful sermon. I remember it to this day. It was saying, who are you, O great mountain before Zerubbabel? You shall be made plain. And so we came supercharged, our faith stimulated. And then in the middle of the night, my son, who was a few months old, starts just all of a sudden like going sick, like really sick, as if like he was losing breath. And like I could see the white of the eye and I was waking my husband and my husband was not waking up, which is so weird because he's such a light sleeper. Like he hears everything. But I think it was because God wanted me to step in the gap. So I couldn't wake him up. And I was like, no, I have to take the charge. So I started praying and I rebuked. And I say, devil, how dare you to come and disturb our sleep? I command you to leave my son alone. I proclaim healing upon him. And in no time, my son started breathing normally. And he came back and he was okay. And in the morning, I was telling my husband, and he was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember any of that happening. But it's because God wanted me to step in the gap. And so, friends, sometimes you may find yourself in sticky situation, in such chaotic situation. You know what? Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Don't wait for whether it's your husband, whether it's your parent, whether it's somebody else of authority to step in. You step in because you have the authority to change the outcome. And then the third thing that she did is that she spoke to destiny. Speak to destiny, not to the problem, not just to the problem, speak to destiny. Abigail reminded David of his destiny. And friends, I want us to read it so that you can see, because that's what changed things. It made David lift his eyes higher than the current situation. So in verse 28, listen to what Abigail is telling David. Please forgive the offense of your slave. She takes ownership for something that she did not do. For the Lord will certainly make for my Lord an enduring house, because my Lord is fighting the battles of the Lord, and evil will not be found in you all your days. Should anyone rise up to pursue you and to seek your life, then the life of my Lord shall be bound in the bundle of the living with the Lord your God. But the lives of your enemies he will sling out as from the hollow of a sling. And when the Lord does for my Lord in accordance with all the good that he has spoken concerning you, and appoints you ruler of Israel. Wow. So she spoke destiny to David. He says, remember, God has promised to put you on the throne. Don't allow anything to cling to you, to tarnish your reputation. Don't allow this innocent blood to be on your hands. And because of that, the fact that she spoke into the destiny of David, she reminded David of his destiny. She prevented him from shedding innocent blood. Friends, I know it's tough what you're going through. I know it's a chaotic situation. I know it is so messy. But look at the destiny ahead of you. Are you going just to satisfy your vengeance? Just to satisfy your anger? Are you going to forfeit your destiny? I want to speak life to you today. Like Abigail spoke in David's life, I want to speak to your life. Do not sacrifice your destiny just for satisfaction of a few hours or a few seconds. Yes, you may take vengeance and then you may feel good, but it's only going to be for a little while because afterwards it's going to weigh heavy in your conscience. A while back at work, somebody did something very, very hurtful to me. It was somebody of authority, and it ate me. I was so mad. I wanted to go and fight for myself. And then I shared it with a sister, how my heart was broken, how somebody could lack such integrity and go and smear my name to the point of affecting my health. And this friend reminded me, she said, leave it in God's hands because you have a great destiny. Look where God is taking you. Don't be tied to what this situation is doing to you. Oh, friends, that was liberating. She spoke into my destiny in the same way that Abigail spoke in the destiny of David. What is harder for you when you're in a sticky situation? What do you find you're struggling with the most? Is it taking vengeance for yourself? Is it letting go? Or is it blurring your destiny with what's happening at the moment? Friends, let us remember these three things. First, whatever situation you're going through, act in wisdom. Choose wisdom over reaction. And secondly, step in the gap, intercede. Look at Abigail. She took this fault of her husband as if it was her own fault. Do the same thing. Intercede. Step in the gap. Look for a strategic way to fix it. And then thirdly, speak in the destiny. It could be your destiny or the destiny of somebody else. I hope this has been a blessing to you. If it has, friends, as always, never keep a good thing to yourself. Share it with others so that they can also walk in their destiny. Until next time, stay blessed.